Hi, this is Dr. Ann-Louise Lockhart at A New Day Pediatric Psychology. Are you dealing with anxiety and having anxious thoughts? Do you find that your mind chews on a thought over and over again and can't get rid of it? The thing about anxiety, it's one of those things that it's very much a habit that can develop in your brain. Every time you respond to a situation, a person, an event, a circumstance, with anxiety, you actually are creating new connections in your brain that wires it to respond in the same way each time. You literally are training your brain to be anxious. Now, you can say that it's because of circumstances, hereditary, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, totally true. However, every time you respond to something with anxiety, you actually create a new connection in your brain. It becomes neurological. So want to learn more? Stay tuned. All right, so here it is. There's a bunch of different ways you can address it. One is medication. Lots of people take medication, a lot of anxiolytics. It's a really quick fix, a great way to address it. However, it doesn't cure anxiety. That's the problem. The other thing is that as you continue to take it, it can become very habit forming, where you need the medication just to function. That's not always the best thing to get involved with if you actually want to overcome your anxiety. Many people feel that they'll always suffer with anxiety, that's just their lot in life. I also don't believe that's true. I believe that we don't have to suffer with anything, that sometimes we do have suffering, but we can also overcome it. One of the things that is a very good way to address anxiety is through deep diaphragmatic breathing, which means you're basically, instead of breathing from up here, which is where a lot of anxiety comes in, is that you're breathing from down here, which is that you're breathing from your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is a muscle in your stomach, behind all that stuff. And as you exercise it, you can actually relax your body physically. Progressive muscle relaxation is another physical way of relaxing and decreasing your physical anxiety. Progressive muscle relaxation basically means that you're progressively tensing and relaxing each muscle group from the top of your head down to the bottom of your feet. Visual and sensory imagery is also another way to combat the mental part of anxiety, where you're imagining different things from each of your senses, what you see, hear, smell, taste, feel, all those different things, and you're tapping into that to create a safe space or place for your mind. Thought stopping is another way to cognitively address anxiety, where you're having a thought and you stop it. You have it, you stop it right away, and then you replace it with 2 or 3 positive, more adaptive, healthier thoughts. And then another part of it then is that what you're doing is that when you're stopping your thought, you challenge it with 2 or 3 positive thoughts, and then you replace them, essentially. You're restructuring your cognitive thoughts. All the cognitions that are going on in your brain, you're basically restructuring how your brain is thinking and processing things. And then emotionally, keeping a mood diary, tracking events, circumstances, and when you're more likely or less likely to feel certain feelings. So in that way, you can start making connections emotionally to your anxiety. So really, we're talking about 4 different ways: physical, behavioral, emotional, and cognitive or mental. To address anxiety, it's really important to address it from all 4 aspects. Now, the behaviors, these are things that you do differently. So instead of running away every time you're feeling that anxious thought, is you face it. Avoidance feeds anxiety. So as you continue to run away and escape, you're feeding your anxiety. So it's really important that you take it, understand that it's happening, and just say, no, I'm going to engage in an opposite action. I'm going to choose instead to do something differently than what I've always done. I'm going to habituate my mind and my body to do something differently. So instead of running away every time you feel nervous about the person you want to talk to, or public speaking, or whatever it is, I'm going to resist the urge to escape, and I'm going to persist, and I'm going to stand, and I'm going to conquer, and I'm going to overcome. So I wanted to drop some of that knowledge because I think that's so important. It's a very common diagnosis, it's a very common condition that people suffer with. And I think it's really important to know that you don't have to suffer with it. I'm not saying that all these strategies are going to take away all your anxiety immediately, but it is a step towards overcoming it and challenging it and being triumphant over all those things. I wish you the best in your journey while you can be whole and healthy and overcome. Thanks for watching.